Did you put sugar in this coffee? Did you put sugar in this coffee? Did you put sugar in this coffee? Yeah, the same exact thing happens in music. The backing track is responsible for 80% of what you're playing, and oftentimes we forget about it. In this video, I'm going to remind you of a fundamental concept that, man, is going to make your playing so much more expressive. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is David Wallimann, and this channel is all about helping you express yourself on the guitar a little bit better. And on the channel, I share with you all the things that I've learned in my 35 plus years of teaching and coaching guitar professionally throughout the world. It's all there for you. That's what your channel is all about. Before we get into this super easy but life-changing concept, I need to tell you about a free workshop. I just launched that last week. If you haven't taken it yet, you should definitely do it. It's an expressive solo workshop, completely free, some of my best teaching, and it's all available for you today. There's a link in the description of this video. Check it out at the end of this video because I don't want you to miss this out. But man, you're gonna love that workshop. Okay, let's get into the concept. We're gonna start with a note. This one, for example, 3rd string, 5th fret. If I play that note, that pitch alone doesn't mean much. But if I play that same exact pitch against different chords, you're gonna hear that that pitch is gonna convey a lot of different emotions. Same exact pitch, but the emotion changes because of what that pitch is played against. We kind of all know it unconsciously, but we never really utilize it to its full extent. So for a moment, we're gonna forget about all the things that we as guitar players spend so much time on. I'm talking about technique, licks, bends, theory, all of that stuff. Put it aside for now. We'll add it back in after, but for now, we're just going to embrace that truth that you don't need to do much. The backing track is gonna do most of the work. So you've got a backing track here. We are in E major. Kind of see the backing track as a canvas on which we're gonna tell our story. We have some liberties, but not an infinite amount of liberties. We still need to respect that canvas. That's the tempo, to respect that, and the notes that are given by all the instruments together. If we were to take all of these instruments, extract all the notes that we're hearing, we'd have a scale, which in this case is E major. So that scale is going to work. From that scale, I can extract one note. This one, for example, that note against that chord sounds that way. Now the chord changed. Another emotion is being brought out. Each time the chord changes, that note kind of has a different meaning. Now, I could do the same with simple melodic ideas. Okay, I'll give it to you. Maybe not super exciting as far as the technique goes and the flashy things, but we were able to reconnect with that truth that we oftentimes forget. A note by itself is nothing. It needs to be played in relation to something else. Now we're gonna use that with all the stuff that you and I spend so much time on, licks, techniques, and all of that. But we're gonna try to remember to kind of repeat that simple idea that we might find as we improvise, might be a lick, a theme, or things like that, without cloning it. First things first, don't do anything. The backing track is kind of telling me what to play. That's the canvas on which I'm going to add some characters and moving pieces, but the canvas is telling me the type of story to play. I'm gonna start with a very simple theme. If I play it again, over this new chord, it's gonna sound a little different. Same pitches. I'm adding a few notes because I don't want to just clone that. Same note here, different meaning. Now here's the thing. Guitar improvisation is all about balance. You want to balance really two types of worlds. The exciting, flashy, guitar-like world, that's all the licks, the techniques, and all the things that we spend most of our time, and also more of the melodic, singing notes, things that the listener is really going to remember in his mind. And it's got to be balanced, because too much of one is going to bore the audience, and it's also going to frustrate yourself because you're not really feeling that you are truly playing guitar. That balance is going to be heavily directed by your concentration as a player. So when we're playing melodically, like we just did there, focusing on the meaning of each idea you're playing, that meaning changing depending on what's being played in the back, that's kind of demanding mentally, because as you're playing that, you're really aware of what's going on with the backing track, with the interaction of the notes you're playing and the backing track. You're kind of anticipating the sound of those notes. You're almost singing, making that melody up as you're playing over the track. Very difficult to concentrate on that kind of playing for an extended period of time. So you need to be able to recharge your musical being. And for that, we're going to use our fingers. And that's typically what players do. They rely on their fingers and they're kind of like checked out. They let the licks speak by itself. They're going to work okay, but they're missing that, melodic sense. We're using these licks here as a device, a tool to allow our mind to recharge. It's all about balance. I want to be able to know the pitch that is going to come out of my guitar. It's controlled by my mind. I'm almost composing something and my fingers are responding to that. But you also want to have a little bit of excitement where your fingers are kind of taking over. And then reclaim that power, that control. Now, if you really want to make this work for you, you have to implement what I call the breathing technique. That's one of those things that I talk about in this workshop. It's the same workshop I told you about in the beginning of this video, completely free. This, my friend, is really going to help you express yourself on the guitar. There's a link in the description of this video, or you can click this card right here. It'll take you straight to the sign-up page, 100% free. Check it out. Some of the best stuff I've ever taught. I hope to see you in the workshop.